Hi everyone, this is Nona again from thealliancelover.com. I have another Venus style video for you today. We are looking at some natives with Venus in Virgo, and as you can tell from this little cover page, there are quite a few sun hats involved. So Venus is ruled by Mercury, the sign of bridging two seemingly different worlds together. It's a sign of the intellect, of making connections, of relationships, and ultimately patterns. Virgo is also an earth sign. It's practical, it's sensual, it's very much involved in the more material day-to-day concepts and themes of life. And Virgo is a mutable sign, so it's really good at shifting between introducing and running with new ideas and figuring out what's worth keeping and what's worth letting go of. So all in all, this gives Venus and Virgo a very selective kind of aura. And I think one of the best ways to kind of meditate on Venus and Virgo is to look at the beauty of a stalk of wheat. There's a lot of intricacy to it, and it's also very precise. Like most things in nature, there is a precision to the design. Obviously, wheat stalks are soft in color, so think of those golden amber hues, gentle and very natural. Also, the nature of wheat stalk is nourishing, but it needs a lot of processing and digestion, and all of that together will help you kind of create this experience of Venus Virgo in your own mind. So it'll be helpful when we look at these Venus and Virgo women. So my favorite Venus and Virgo woman is Brigitte Bardot. I think she looks absolutely amazing, the most radiant, and at her best when she's in these almost bohemian, beachy kind of styles, especially with the sun hat or the summer hat that kind of drapes along her face and casts this interesting shadow, and it really helps frame her lovely face. I love the intricate patterns that she wears, the lovely natural material, and the simple shapes. So yes, there might be tassels or paisley or more intricate prints involved, but if you look at the outline and the general shapes of these Venus and Virgo women's styles, the shapes themselves are more clean cut, they're more simple. So just a few more examples. I think she looks beautiful here in this very simple woven sun hat. She looks very, very dewy and radiant. Also here in this simple cut, very short dress and these boots. And I think she looks equally lovely in something a bit more rugged, but still quite precise, as opposed to what she's popular for in these very woman-child-like patterns, as seen here. So we have the huge bows, sometimes the pigtails, the very, very big hair, the very perky, playful kinds of prints, the polka dots, the ruffles, the bows, the cat eyes. That is what I think of when I think of Brigitte Bardot and what she has been popularized for being this kind of Lolita sex figure. But in my opinion, these looks read a bit costumey on her, and I think this softer, more natural style of dressing is just a lot more flattering, especially if you read or listen to any of her interviews. Her personality really is very soft. It's more flowing. It's not as coquettish and playful as her popular images would have us believe. Next, we have Blake Lively in here. This outfit is obviously very, very similar to the one that Brigitte Bardot is wearing, and it looks equally as good on her, especially with the similar blonde, wavy hair. Here, she looks adorable in this hat. The very casual, but I would say neat jeans and this fun little print. I love these very long, flowing, simple maxi dresses on her as well. She just looks so in her element and so alluring and inviting and radiant. So here we have a pattern that I think is very Venus and Virgo friendly. It's earthy, it's a bit more natural. There's still precision and accuracy to it, but it's a bit more restrained, more subdued. And here on this side, we have patterns that are just a lot more loud and bold, almost like a kaleidoscope here. They're just not the most natural looking patterns. And I think these types of styles overwhelm her. She doesn't look as radiant and doesn't look as coherent of an outfit. Here, I just look at the outfit and the clothes, and I'm not really looking at the individual. But here, it seems to melt into her and at the same time is an extension of her own aura. And I think she just looks the most beautiful in these simpler styles. Next up, we have Kate Beckinsale. If you don't follow her on Instagram, I highly recommend it. She's super funny. Anyways, here we have very soft, sensual Kate Beckinsale. I think the best way to describe her most sensual and alluring beauty is straight out of the laundry kind of beauty, like someone who has just been washing linens, drying them in the air, and just puts them on like a toga in the sunshine. It's that kind of fresh, very pure, but extremely inviting and sensual and light vibe that these Venus and Virgo women are so good at radiating. So here are these light colors, this beautiful, but still more form-fitting and clean-cut, loose kind of fabric. Here a more natural kind of pattern and just a lot of softness. Here we have a more constructed play on that. And here again, another very flowy little outfit, not super extremely 100% flowy, but the Venus in Virgo is really good at mixing more unstructured fabrics with structured shapes. And here on the right, we have this very bright, in-your-face leather mini dress and this very poofy, stiff, also kind of interesting cutout dress that I don't think really flatters her. It doesn't bring out that extremely alluring, ripe, and dewy radiance that I think Kate Beckinsale has in spades. These, again, look a bit costumey in my opinion. Next up, we have Michelle Rodriguez. She looks amazing in this very revealing white on white outfits, again with a structured kinds of fabrics mixed with the looser ones as well. The interesting patterns on this crochet robe and the very clean, simple, earthy, natural color palette. Kind of the same vibe going on, the yin yang on either side with the white here and the dark here, but it's pretty much the same kind of essence, the same kind of feel and aesthetic. So here, more examples of that style versus Michelle wearing something a bit more glamorous, intricate, in your face, poofy, in these very high contrast colors. I don't see her. Again, I see the dress. I just don't think it's appropriate for coaxing out that Virgoan sense of charm and radiance. Next up, we have Meghan Markle, absolutely stunning in these suede and denim looks. Simple, earthy, really brings out her colors, her features. I think she just looks flawless in all three of these photos. Just absolutely flawless. Like, this is 100% on point, amazing at bringing out that beauty of hers, especially with this hat. Amazing framing. I just can't say anything wrong or bad about these. So here we have Meghan in two maxi dresses. Looks like linen or some linen cotton blend with these neat earthy stripes. And I think she looks really wonderful. She looks radiant. And even when she's standing next to two men in a floral pantsuit and gold leggings with rainbow makeup on their face, she looks equally, if not more, radiant and attention grabbing. It's a more magnetic kind of visual pull that she has when she wears these garments, as opposed to these ones where she still looks good, of course, but I think this one is a little too stiff and she looks a little matronly in this dress. And this one, it looks like she's trying too much or too hard to look more sexy. And it's just not really embracing her body or her colors or, just the general skeleton and frame that she has in this outfit, as opposed to these ones where it really does frame her and outline her perfectly. Okay, so now we're moving on to people who have Venus in Virgo but don't necessarily shine in Venus in Virgo styles due to their sun sign, their ascendant, the general nature of their charts. And first one is Charlize Theron. Yes, she looks pretty in anything. She's just a very pretty woman. Here, this hat, this little cardigan here, this linen-ish, cottonish number. She's still pretty. She's still attractive. But she looks so much more iconic. Like the Charlize Theron we think about, this superstar, when she embraces her Leo signs. So the gold, the clean-cut, strong, streamlined, almost masculine type of dressing, like these three here, really make her shine. She looks like a queen or a leader. She has that big royal energy. And it's a waste to dress her up in a more demure kind of style when she has so much of this strong Leo energy. And here I just wanted to show you a look that I don't think works as well. Yes, it's shimmery, but there's just too much distraction. It's not streamlined. It's a bit too flowy in some parts. There's just too much intricate detail. So even in the gold and the strong color schemes and the metallics, the Leo demands to be expressed in a more direct kind of way. Next up, we have Sophia Loren. Again, beautiful in almost anything. Here are some examples of more Venus and Virgo friendly styles. And here, some more colorful outfits of different, I would say, astrological influences. Still attractive, but I think she is her most iconic and beautiful when she plays to her Capricorn rising. So the black, the turtlenecks, the glamorous clean cuts, very precise manner of dressing, the very standoffish cat eye, and the strong lines are magical on her, and she looks her most radiant when she's really dressing and playing to her ascendant. The same thing applies to Catherine Deneuve. She's still attractive in these earthier, more subtle, restrained, demure kinds of styles, but she looks best in her Capricorn rising ice queen styles. She is, I think, a Libra sun, so this color really just ties it all together, and she looks extra magical. And I just wanted to add this slide in because I'm going to do a video on these two sisters, because Catherine has her Venus in Virgo and Capricorn rising, and I think from what I remember, her sister has Aquarius or the Aquarius and Virgo combinations. So I'm going to talk about their Virgo overlap and then talk about how that expresses itself differently. So just watch out for this video. I think they're just really interesting to look at side by side. And lastly, we have Gwen Stefani. So here's just a reminder that you can really, really change your looks and your style if you really put a lot of effort into it and gain sort of focus and clarity of one vision. So here are pictures of Gwen Stefani before. She's super duper famous with the darker hair. Here's a video of her with darker hair. She looks like a very different person, as opposed to her in her more signature platinum blonde look, much more Capricorn ascendant friendly, with a bright red lipstick, the stark black clothes with the stark lines, and the platinum blonde hair. It's very high contrast, very, very calculated. So just looking at these two women, the same women, they just look completely different. So have a think about that. If you are feeling a little torn, sometimes there's this big gap between two potential looks you have in your chart, and it's all a matter of cultivating one style over the other. So that was my Venus and Virgo video. Again, this is just a handful of examples, a limited data pool, and these are just some patterns that I picked up on. This is not by any means a guideline on how to 100% make the most of your Venus and Virgo style. Instead, just try to study these women or other women who have this placement. See what you like about their style, see what you don't, and explore the other aspects of their charts and your charts. This is just a food for thought. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.